so this is the board meeting of the Hazel Park Amateur Radio Club for Wednesday, January 28th, 2026. That is correct. Spring is right around the corner there. Well, maybe not right around the corner, but it's around the corner. All right, so a few things from last week there. So I see a couple of things. So item number one here, next step. Who manages the club's QRZ website? Hold on, before we do that, let's just recognize everybody who's here. And let me just say that we have tonight, and thank you everybody for joining. We have Reuven is here, Joe, me, that's me. I'm here definitely. Len is here. John, W8TOY is here. Hugh, KE8BED. And Dave, W8HOO. And finally, last but not least, is Andrew, okay, AJ0WX. So those are the members for today. So, all right. So the first thing about who manages the Club QRZ website. Well, I can say after the last membership meeting, I think it may have been Ken Lord, I'm not sure, walked up to me and told and pointed out, we know who is
Yeah,
handling the QRZ
it says
website.
it at the bottom. Yeah.
It says it at the bottom. Thank you. I know, I know. So it is Murray. It is Murray. So
Yeah.
that mystery has been solved. So okay, we've got that. The next issue here, W9 NPI, I believe. Okay. So anyway, so Jerry's was going to contact Mike to provide a little bit of historical information about the ARPC the ARPSC in Oakland County and Macomb County, of course. And of course, Jerry's contacts go way, way back. So as we're trying to um, accumulate our history, our club history, that's an important step there. So we'll reach out there to Jerry. Also, I do want to say I have Jerry's plaque, which just reminded me it's sitting here on the desk, packed up, ready to go. I got to take it to the post office, which I will do tomorrow, and we'll get that mailed off to him. All right. Andrew, AJ0WX, and his team is continuing progress on the new D-Star repeater build. So
That,
we
that should be All-Star, not D-Star.
right, you're right. I beg your pardon. Yeah, All-Star. You want to just give us a few words, perhaps, on how things are going and what are our next steps, so on and so forth.
Yeah, I'm on my work trip right now, so I don't have access to my
Oh,
personal
right,
computer. But
right.
I think it sounds like we might need a new circulator. I don't know what happened to the other one, either if the it was too small power wise or what. But that shouldn't prohibit us from continuing work on the control side of things and like the actual repeater itself. We should be able to, one of these Saturdays coming up, either this Saturday or next Saturday. I gotta see what my availability is and talk to Len to see what his availability is. Um, we can hopefully we have everything kind of built, so it's just a matter of getting everything programmed, for lack of a better term, um, to where we transmit into the repeater and it receives it and then it transmits it out. Right now, the transmit path is working, but there needs to be some fine tuning on the receive end. So once that's done, I think the repeater side's pretty much good to be installed. Um, we would probably want to configure everything first as much as possible, like Echolink, Broadcastify, our All-Star node and all that other stuff. Um, but that we don't necessarily want to do that until we have everything set up. with the repeater, and that'll kind of be the last step before we could, fully um, commission the new repeater.
Right. Okay. A few things on that. Yes. Yes, the circulator. So here's what I see. Well, so I tested the circulator. So what it looks like to me, frankly, is that it is tuned off frequency. Although there's a sticker on it that says 146.640, putting it on the spectrum analyzer where we can very accurately determine the frequency. I can't remember. It's 145 dot something. I can't remember whatever it was. So my theory about this is because it was mistuned. So what happened is it's going to have a lot of reflective RF power and things like that, and that may have caused the issue. There is in the forward direction, which is spec'd out to be about 4/10 of a dB insertion loss. It's ridiculous. It was something like 45 dB or something. I can't remember exactly, but it definitely is broken. There's no doubt about it. And I believe that because it's off frequency, that SWR and over time may have caused the issue. It's rated at 100 watts, so that should really continuous, 100 watts continuous.
No,
So
no, not according to because it's the 1530, right? On that data
yeah,
sheet, it said it was 60 watts continuous. 100 watts was like 60% duty cycle, according to the brochure. So there's some confusion, I think, because there's three
yeah,
different models of 1530. There's
right,
the 1530 with no letter at the end,
yeah,
which they say is rated for 100 watts, but it's not 100 watts continuous. It's like 60 continuous, 100 at, whatever the duty cycle is.
right,
There's the 1530M, which is rated to like 115 or 120 continuous or something like that. And then there's the 1530H, which is the high power one, and that one's rated to like 300 or something. The difference between the 1530 and the 1560 is just the amount of isolation there is. So the 1530 it guarantees 30 dB, the 1560 guarantees 60 dB. So that's the only difference between the 1530 and the 1560. There's no power handling difference or anything like that. So if we ordered the 1560, we'd probably be in the same boat and be have been out more money because I think that one was 800 more or something like that.
yeah.
So the other thing though is that the M and the H models are not field tunable. They're only tunable by the manufacturer. And then one other thing to note, these isolators are sensitive to ferrous metal. So if it was mounted on steel or anything, magnetic,
Yeah.
that would cause it to detune.
Okay, here's a picture of it. I was trying to get into our from our meeting on Monday, but there was an update last Tuesday or Wednesday, a Windows update, and ever since then I can't get directly into my OneDrive. So I have to like go online and go through all that to get on the OneDrive, but I'm not going to do that right now. But so here, this is a photograph of the actual unit. What you don't see here in this particular photograph is there on the side, the top there, right here on this side, right there. It says 146.640. Oh gosh, I really want to show this to you. Yeah, I'll just send it in an email. But anyway, it's kaput without a doubt. And whatever the reason is, I don't know, but it's not tuned to the right frequency. So we're going to have to get with Antenna Farm. They sold it to us, and I would say it was sold to us as a defective product, which is really two concerns now we have with Antenna Farm. One is we got zapped with an $888 overcharge for something labeled um, tariffs. Once
No, I
we,
don't. Was that 800 for the isolator or was that something else?
888. That was for the antenna, I believe. It was for that whole order. I believe it was for the antenna. I'm not sure what it is, but I think once you advertise the selling price, you sell it at that price. You don't. I feel a little bit off put a little bit because we were told a certain price. We went ahead, we bought it at that price. And then after we placed the order, then they charged us an extra $888 without even consulting with us. So I wasn't too happy about that. And now we received this particular product from them, which appears very clearly to be mistuned, and also for sure it's burnt out. And I have uh, the spectrum analyzer data to prove that. So not a happy customer there with the antenna farm, that's for sure. So
Well,
that's where we,
do we have data before it was installed? Because they could come back and say, "Oh, since you put too much power into it, that's why it's detuned." Because that will, if you put too much heat into it, it will affect the magnetic capabilities and permeability and all that of the internals.
well, let me ask you this. If it was tuned properly, it's rated peak power. You said peak power 100 watts. I didn't see that. I just saw it said input power, maximum input power 100 watts. Okay. But even still, um, it's very questionable. It's very questionable. So let's see whether they work with us on this and help us get that straightened out. We'll return it and we'll get a refund and we'll go directly to the company and buy it like we probably should have in the first place.
And
So,
yeah, what I would do is I wouldn't buy a specific model number. I would ask Telwave, this is our application, this is our power output. These are our requirements. What part would you recommend, right? Because what we don't want to have happen is say, oh, well, we just need the, 1630 or 1530 or whatever,
right,
and have, we get it, and then it turns out it's the wrong part, right? Because there's a lot of confusion in that email about, the M versus the H versus the no letter. So we just want to make sure that we get the right part.
right. And I would go directly to the manufacturer, quite frankly. I prefer to talk to the manufacturer and get their assessment of it. At this point, I don't know about antenna farm. I really don't. So anyway, we'll get that. We'll follow that up. We'll have more news soon about all that. Okay, so and all right, we talked about All Star there, Mark and Mark, like the law firm of Mark and Mark, a project manager or property managers, whatever. Anyway, continuing to work on our real estate issue there in Oak Park, and we're very grateful for their efforts. And I think the both of them are doing a fabulous job. We're moving ahead, and we listen. It's an uphill battle. And I just want to throw this out to the group, what you think about this. And I know we're pushing the repeater because for emergency, whatever, emergency communications. But on the other hand, remember this building is a building of seniors, right? It's for senior living. So perhaps there's also the aspect when you really think about what is the DART really used for the most part, 95% of the time, except for the Sunday night net where it's, a practice, a weekly practice. But it's really as seniors are on the radio, and I think that could be another approach there to help push the get the ball across the goal line. So I think we're on about the 5 yard line right now. So these guys are working great on all that. Okay, so I next item here, the slide for the available radios. I did get an email from Ken Lord, who put together a very impressive web page. I mean, it looks very cool. I guess I should have had that brought up. Let me see if I can get it in 2 seconds. I'll bring it up. But I was just hold on. Let me see if I can get it. So, um, Okay, so here, let me, it'll come up in a second. Here we go. So this is pretty cool, don't you agree? He did a nice job, and I do have a couple comments to say. Rather than having to click and download, maybe we can just upload the the slides for the different equipment. But when I clicked on it before on my phone, which is not always the most dependable thing, but let's just see. All right, so here's what comes up. All right, so it didn't come up on my phone, but it just came up now.
7:30 p.m. Good evening.
Oh, good evening. Good evening. So these are the items. I think it might be better if rather than having to click and download, you just go to the site and you can see them as an advertisement. Because sometimes that second click doesn't always go. So we have that. Then we have the ICOM 746. Then this ICOM 751, and then finally we have this Motorola MW18 10 workstation. So anyway, these are all very nice. So we'll get if we could, let's say you just went down here and we could display them. I think it'd be a little bit more impactful for folks. Uh, so anyway, just want to say that. But the web page looks terrific. Great job there, Ken. Okay, very nice. All right, so Mike, N8VDZ, Mike. We have many Mikes. Ken's not here, but okay. Or Mike, I'm sorry, Mike's not here. So we're going to coordinate and announce Macomb County repeater crawl in the next week or two. So we'll keep our ear open for that. And
Can you hear
also,
me?
I can, yes, Dave, go
Oh,
ahead.
sorry. I tried to jump in earlier, but there was an issue with my microphone.
Oh,
Um,
yeah, loud and clear.
um, do we know if there is a substantial population of hams in the senior center, the senior living center?
Well, we don't actually. We don't. We don't
Because
know.
I've always thought it would be interesting, if there was a substantial population, it would be interesting to do like not field day, but that idea, like basically bring a tent and a couple of radios and set some antennas up on their property and
Right.
invite those operators from the population living there who let's call a spade a spade. There's no way they have HF in there. And that
Right.
if they wanted to sit down at a radio and do spend an hour sending Morse or phone or whatever. Like I don't think I I mean I could be wrong and I could be very easily proved wrong. I don't think we would need to do the digital modes, but phone and Morse, it'd be very easy to set that up for a couple hours, a half day, or three quarters of a day, on their grounds and invite the seniors down to use it.
That would be a fabulous idea, especially considering, we're trying to get things sorted out on that end. Whether there's actual,
Joe,
go
Mark
ahead.
and I have already approached that subject, and
Yeah.
Gary's real um, interested in that part of it. And we've already talked to Jerry, myself, about teaching classes there and setting up a 2 meter 440 station.
Wow. That would be fabulous. Hugh, thanks for that. Yeah, terrific. I'm all in.
Looking
I'm
at
all in
the
on
hem
to
grid
help out
maps,
there. I'm sorry, Reuben, go ahead.
looking at hem grid maps, it looks like there is one ham in that building. Um, I'm just double checking if I have the address right. And it's not the building next door.
But even if it is the
Um,
building, I mean, even just in the area too, But I think it would be a
Because
great.
I know that there's another senior living center or assistive living center on the far side of Royal Oak that there's a member living in. Uh, I don't remember what his name is. I do know that he's in a wheelchair, and he dropped his handheld at a club meeting one time, and I dropped
Ah,
it back off to his location.
Yeah, the ham on ham grid maps in that building is N8SBY, Michael Schapp.
What is it? N8 what?
N8SBY,
Sugar Bravo
Yankee.
Yankee?
Yeah. If you look at QRZ, he's listed with that as his address, apartment
Oh, great.
501.
Oh, well, let's wow.
So,
Who
because
knew? Who
you can
knew?
go to the grid mapper and you can pull up a map and you see all the hams on the map.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, yeah,
been
yeah.
done for a while. So this is
Yeah. Oh, that's fabulous. All right, so that's a good idea. So, and I'm all for that. And also, look, most of the people who use the dart, most of us are retired anyway. We're in that same age group. And also the other thing, I mean, besides the emergency aspect of it, but it does provide a connection for those who can't get out of the house readily, or on a snow day like the other day there, and so on and so forth. So I think that it does bring quite, great value to the community. So in our subsequent effort to communicate with the management, we that might be an approach we might want to add to our.
Well, I don't want to just throw the idea. I'm going to put my hand up and say that if this is something that the club wants to do, and if the management of the center wants to do it, or even if they don't want us to do it there, we want to do it somewhere else, I am happy to take that project on. If it is something that we decide to do, I am happy to spearhead that project.
Excellent, excellent,
I
excellent.
think that's a good idea too, not necessarily just for, the apartment, but also, in the spring, summer maybe for like area libraries and, other groups.
Yeah.
I think like a hands-on, maybe like a quick 10-minute presentation of what is ham radio, followed by like a, 2-hour hands-on demonstration, I think
Yeah.
is a good way to get people interested.
And if there was
So
somewhere in the area we could even, I mean, I don't know what it would look like, but could we partner with Smart to shuttle folks? If the particular property didn't want to take on the liability of allowing us to put up antennas, or if it wasn't at an appropriate location. Say if we went up to Scout Park, like if we just did like mini field day and then brought folks there. I don't know. It the idea. It's like 5% of an idea right now, but if it is something that we decide to do, I am happy to flesh it out.
Wow. I would add another 5% to it. Let's call it 10% idea. I think it's a great idea. And Andrew, I agree. Dave, great work there. And Hugh, I think brought it up. Okay. Excellent. All right. So Dave, if you could track down N8SBY, maybe that might be our that might be a good connection anyway. Also, I do want to just, as long as we're talking on about education, so I think the extra class course that I've been instructing, I'm going to cancel it, and the reason is I have the Monday antenna meeting, then a Tuesday course, and then Wednesday, every other Wednesday, it's either this meeting or the membership meeting. It's really a lot for me right now. But here's the real reason, and I did the first two episodes yesterday. I did yesterday as well. But here's the real reason is because when I first created the presentation, that's all I did. I just did the presentation. I wasn't on the board. I wasn't, involved in the club very much other than doing the presentation, of which I worked closely with Jerry, by the way, W9NPI, who was a great inspiration in that. But it's too much. It's just too much all in one. And to the time that's now needed to go back over the presentation and update it with the new questions, take out the old questions, bring in the new questions. Although the basic fundamentals are pretty much the same, but like the questions, so the numbers are different. But the participants in the class, I don't know if they're 100% happy with it. And in addition, I found really a very good YouTube course that uses the same book and pretty much the same philosophy, but it obviously has professional graphics and it's done professionally. Um, and so for now, I'm going to pull the plug on that and just focus on the antenna and the antenna project, and of course the membership meeting and the board meetings and working on the club. Uh, so I just want to let folks know about that, and I'm going to send out an announcement here. All right. And like I said, the participants haven't been very happy about it, so I got a whole earful on that. All right. Anyway, where are we here? Let's see. Oh, ARRL Field Day. Don't forget, coming up June 27th, June 28th. I know it's 2 degrees below zero out there, but the summer field day is coming up. So let's all practice our CW skills, okay? And we'll get a few more CW operators there. Don't forget, the CW contact is twice the number of points as a phone contact, so you can do pretty good with that. Okay, so I see here it says Mike will continue to coordinate volunteers for bad weather snow response. I don't remember what that was all about, but we'll take a interested in that. And of course, our Sunday morning dinners, breakfasts, I should say, are are good. A good have been very well attended. Last week it was a little bit light, but the weather was not that best. It was not too great. But anyway, so that's moving around good. So regarding those protocols and emergency training, so we discussed radio communications protocol, explaining that only 1 or 2 members are trained to interact with the police and fire departments, and our members generally don't engage. And I think that if we're going to use that argument that we are a emergency coordination facility, although in addition to serving seniors, we probably need to work on that a little bit. And he said he would help us with that. Talk about Skywarn program requirements and National Weather Service training, things of that sort. So, yes, green, yellow, and red, just like a traffic signal. So the three-level alert system for severe weather events. Okay. Um, that's what I currently have on the docket here. And let's go around and see what folks want to contribute to that. Len, I'm wondering, do you have anything you want to add to the discussion here?
Well, I stopped by the post office and there's two commercial uh, charge card solicitations in it. That's all that was in the post office. John asked me to stop by there because we haven't checked it for over a month. So there was nothing of substance in the post office.
Okay, great. Well, thanks for looking after that. You never know where that one letter could be really important, but good, very, very good on that. And you reminded me of something, but it'll come back to me in just a second here. So Reuven, how are things there in the secretarial, the department, the Secretary of Defense? No, of whatever.
So, not much going on, but so a couple things I wanted to bring up. The first being apparel sales. So the last I left it, and I just haven't heard back from anyone, that Mike was going to give you the box of the remaining apparel. Did Mike give you that box?
I have not been in touch with Mike. Right. I remember you mentioning that. So,
Okay.
okay, we need to make that connection.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, he just has the box, and he needs to hand it to you, I think. So he gave me the list of what's in the box. It's not very much left at this point, but we have vendor that we can reorder anything that we previously sold. I'm sure the price went up since 2019, but again, we can raise our price. It's
Yeah.
the way it goes here. So I think we should bring it to the meeting, say, this is what we have on hand right now. What do people want? And people can either prepay or put a deposit or something like that, or we can just order what people want and we'll have it for the next meeting or something like that. The all of these is like pretty straightforward screen printing things, so I don't think there's a huge lead time on it. The only thing that's a little more complicated was those Carhartt jackets, because there was the complication of getting the jackets. I know that someone had some connection to get them at a little bit of a cheaper price, and then Aaron had a connection with a embroidery shop, and he actually still has somewhere the CD with the embroidery file on it that you can bring to any embroidery shop and they can embroider it.
Yeah,
So
that guy did a beautiful job on those jackets.
yeah, so Aaron
Yeah.
made sure to get the file from him. So if we need to either go back to him or any other shop that does embroidery, that file can be loaded onto whatever common embroidery machine they have and produce the same thing.
I'm ready to buy a
Right.
new Carhartt jacket.
Yeah, so
Here we have,
the Carhartt jackets are the most complicated just because getting the actual jackets was a whole to do.
right. So here we have some examples of that. I think the jacket on the left, John, I think is that yours? I'm not sure who that is. I think it was. And then I see a Usika one. I took that picture at breakfast about 6 months ago.
You know,
But yeah, so
it might be simpler if people went and got their own jacket at the dealer up here in Madison Heights on 12 Mile and John R, and then have us embroider it for them. That way, they pick out the jacket that fits them and the style they want, and we just have it embroidered.
oh, that's an interesting idea. Yeah.
That's I mean part of the fundraising was that we got the jackets from Carhartt at a little bit below the retail cost, and we sold them for the retail cost plus the embroidery cost or whatever it was. So I mean, the club, part of this was to make the club a little bit of money.
Exactly.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I guess we could we could mark up what the embroidery place charges if somebody brings us a jacket.
Right. So, okay. Um, well, who can reach out? Who would be the best person? Can somebody volunteer to sort this out? That would be helpful. If not, I'll mention it at the membership meeting too. Maybe we can get someone to look after this for us.
I mean, I don't know about the Carhartt, but I mean, I can go through my old email and still, if we still have the contact at the Carhartt company, but I mean, we're looking for an email from 2019. It's kind of been 7 years.
Yeah.
We definitely can get in touch with them again. And I mean, I still have the old emails in my email box. The other stuff, I mean, I probably could take. I mean, I can get in touch with Aaron.
How do you spell, Reuben, how do you spell Carhartt?
CARRHARTT.
Okay, I'm sorry, what? CARH?
ARTT. They're a big Detroit company that makes like sort of work clothes, and it's actually become kind of stylish.
Well,
you see people like even not in Detroit like wearing them as like fashion statements. Like
yeah, yeah.
It's interesting what's going on with that company.
So what is this? Oh no, wrong thing. Okay. This is, I think that was the company though. I just wanted to see what I have. This goes back to 2021, but I just wonder whether. Oh, look at that! God bless him. Jim Pullman, I see, is in here. All right. Well, I thought maybe I might have it, but I guess I don't. Um, oh, how about this? Check this out. I'll send this to you. Is this what we were talking about? You can
Um,
the woman's golf shirt asks for Carhartt jackets if I'm not sure what this is.
this seems like affinitypromos.net seems like some other local company. They're not the
Yeah, we
company that
use
we used.
yeah, we use them for some other award or I forgot what Denise did something for us, but I just happened to pull out a car I just you get it. So anyway, all right. I'll look around some more. I'll see if I have that email that you're talking about. I don't know. But just looking here quickly.
Here, this was
I don't have. Yeah, I'm just.
I'm looking at it. The person that Aaron emailed was rcrawford@carhartt.com.
Oh, okay. Let me
I'm
see.
looking at this here. This is Aaron's email. Dear Mr. Crawford, attached his tax exempt certificate. Okay, we look forward to buy USA made Carhartt products to embroider with our club logo and promote our club. I appreciate the discount you mentioned you could extend to our group. Please let me know how to order yet, etc., etc.
Oh, great. Okay, so you found it. Excellent.
Yeah,
Okay, good.
I forwarded that to you in March of 2025. So if you want to
Oh,
look
okay.
at
Yeah.
your old email, the subject of the email is HPARC tax exempt certificate.
Oh, yes. I just went through. I just saw that. I thought it was just the certificate, but
No, so well, that's the attachment, but the actual correspondence is Aaron, who is I think at that point the second vice president, was writing to this person at Carhartt, that he had some kind of relationship with, that was able to get him the jackets at a discount, and then the club sold at full price to
right,
raise money. I mean, a little questionable about the tax exemption in this case, but I'm not a CPA. I'll just
right,
ignore that.
right. Okay.
Technically, you're not. Well, the club is not allowed to buy things tax exempt for resale. How about that?
Oh, I did not know that. Okay, that's good news. That's good to know. I don't know if it's good
Yes.
news, but it's good to know.
Yes, we
Um,
are. We can buy things for the club use,
right.
with the tax exemption, but if we plan to sell them, we're not allowed to use our tax exemption for that.
Oh, okay. I guess we pass that along to the consumer. Okay.
Well, either we charge taxes to the consumer, or it just gets complicated. I'm
Yeah.
not a lawyer. I give up here, but technically we might have to file with the state to sell.
Right.
It's just not worth
All
it.
right. Well, we'll figure it out. Yeah, the paperwork might be more trouble than the
Yeah.
$2 that we save, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, good. All right. John, Watoy, have you any wisdom you might want to share with us regarding I know you're on the air a lot and how things are going. I do want to again, I mentioned this the other day, but great work by AAAUU and Mike, VPC Mike, N8 is or W8 VPC Mike. They work together and got things up and running, and so we're good to go. And again, I strongly believe that isolator was mistuned, and probably when it was installed, it was working fine, but after a while, it kind of fizzled. So. I'm hoping Antenna Farm will do the right thing and help us out with that.
Well, we say
Okay.
installed. I mean, it hasn't actually been installed in the real repeater. This is just in testing, as far as I know. Is that correct, or is it?
It was just receive testing, that's all.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean the likelihood of us exceeding the power limit for some time frame that could damage it is zero. It sounds like it's just a dud part that needs to go back to the factory to be retuned.
I would agree with. Well, it's more than retuned. There's about a
How big
40
is that
dB,
amplifier up there now?
100 watts. Oh, no, 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 no. That's the new one. I beg your pardon. So the output of the Quantar, if I remember correctly, and I don't remember exactly, I do know exactly the output of the duplexes. I know that's 85 watts. But I believe the output of the Quantar is got to be maximum 8 watts. No, what am I saying? 100 watts, right? And the repeater is used like the repeater is normally used. So whether it's full power or half power or whatever power it is, it should have
So we have a 100 watt the repeater, but we don't have an amplifier up there now.
no, not now. We don't. We used to. Well, hold on. Let me just say this. When we had the fusion, when the repeater that's currently at the UHF site, that was originally at the VHF site. And when that was there, there was an amplifier to go along with that to kick it up to 100 watts. The output of the Quantar, as I understand it, is 100 watts. So probably not 100, maybe it's 90 or whatever. But really, it wasn't, I mean, that should have been enough, you know, to to handle that. However, I will say, generally speaking, in circuit design, there's 100% over. So if you're 100 watts, you'd want a 200 watt, maybe. But seriously, just right out of the box like that, I don't know, very suspect. So we're gonna take care of that. And
So was this circulator installed in the repeater at the building, or was this just in the test cabinet for the new repeater?
It was
I
at
don't.
it was at the building.
It was, yeah.
Okay, so we
Was
so we had it all. I mean, do we know? Did it get hit by lightning? Who knows? It could anything up there? Okay.
Well, if it got hit by lightning, the lightning would have struck the duplexer first because the duplexer's in the way, right? And then behind the between the duplexer and the output of the transmitter, that's where the circulator is, because the idea is to keep stray RF from getting into the amplifier and causing intermod. Um, and so I would say possible, highly unlikely, but
I know. I'm
possible.
just I
Yeah,
didn't
I
realize
hear
that it
you.
was I didn't realize it had been used. I thought that you guys were just field testing this in someone's garage at this point. I didn't
Right.
realize it was in use.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So we need to. So I mean, this will tell the real story about the antenna farm. So let's see. Um, but I feel more confident working with the manufacturer, Telwave, and so we'll see what. So stay tuned. More to follow on that. And if Al was here, I think Al must have dropped off, I guess. But I was going to ask him to help out with that a little bit. So I'll reach out to him in a phone call. Okay. Okay. Who else? Oh, Hugh, and then Dave. Hugh. Any infractions on the Constitution of Hazel Park
we're
Amateur Radio Club?
we're good tonight, Joe.
Excellent. Good news. That's good news. Okay. Very good. Very good. All right. And Dave. Last but not least, Dave. And I think
The
Andrew.
only
He left. I wanted to thank him for tuning in while he was on the road. Not an easy thing. But Dave, go ahead.
the only thing that I have for the group is the last, no, not Monday, but the Monday before the repeater meeting, I said that I was going to work on getting the asset tag labels ordered
Hmm.
with the QR code that led to the appropriate drive. I have not done that yet. I had some difficulty finding a QR code creation tool before I left for vacation. I just didn't
Well,
have enough time to take care of it. So I'm back. I got back this morning at 3 a.m. And so this week I will put some time and attention into finding an appropriate QR code and leading it to an appropriate drive. The other thing, the drive that we're currently using, do we know who the owner of that is? I think I can look it up, but do we know who the owner is? Was it that lady
what
that
drive
set
are
it
we
up?
talking about?
We're
Sorry.
talking about the
There's a drive for the repeater setup where it's all the documentation and the files and folders and stuff are all stored there. Is that drive is V? Is that lady's name? I don't remember.
Vera. That's right, Vera.
Vera.
So she was in one of my in one of the classes, the extra classes, and so right, she set it up. I'm under the impression it's on the club drive. I couldn't. You know what? I don't know the answer. Let me just say, I don't know.
Okay, I'll take a look, and if it's belonged to her, I'll have her move the ownership over to probably the Dart email address, the one that we have tied all the Dart things to. But yeah, I'll get her to move that ownership.
Right. And what I was going to say too is you're not totally at fault about not ordering that, and I'll tell you why. And this keeps escaping my memory, but I need to complete with Andrew, we need to complete the application for the node because didn't that have something to do with the QR code you wanted to put on there, the node number or something? So
No, the QR code will just lead to the drive where we'll keep the sheets of
the inventory.
like the serial. Yeah, the serial number is the asset tag numbers, the MAC addresses, the IP addresses. We can do port numbers. Like we can put all of that information into a spreadsheet there that the QR code will take us to.
Okay, got it, got it. However, that I do need to do that. We need to button that up and we've got all the paperwork done. Like I said, we're about 95% of the way there. There's one more step needs to be done. But what we want to do is to transfer. Originally, when I set up, I'm talking about the node, but
Yeah.
it was under I used my email address. I wasn't thinking straight. I just wanted to, kind of get it. So we'll get that sorted out and move along with that. But okay, Dave, thanks for that, and thanks for overseeing that and the other projects there.
Yep.
Okay, I believe that's everybody,
Did you
right?
get Andrew? I don't know if Daniel left yet or not, but he was,
He did leave. He dropped off.
okay.
He's on the
Oh,
road.
Ruben, I just saw that link. Thank you very much. I shall copy that right now. But yes, Andrew put a message in the chat that said that he had to drop, so he's not here anymore.
Okay, yeah, yeah, and we appreciate Andrew being dialing in while he's on the road. Okay, excellent. Well, with that said, with that, I'll close the Hazel Park Amateur Radio Club board meeting for January and into the question the most important question. What's our presentation in for the February meeting, I guess would be the answer. But we'll have to I'll get with Andrew on that. I know. We'll wait till it gets back off the road, but we can always back things up with the update on how the new Dart project is coming along. So, okay. Well, thank you,
Yeah, I mean, I'm
everybody.
looking at his spreadsheet. He does not have anything listed for February, March, or April. He has new repeater listed for May.
Oh, okay. Well, we may. It'd be nice to have an update on that. So, worst comes to worst, we can talk about that, and we'll see if he can pull another rabbit out of his hat.
Yeah.
And
I
okay.
like that we should definitely with all this ARRL year of the club things, we definitely should have someone from the league come and talk about what they do for us. Either the our division director or vice director or section manager or just there's a lot of ARRL field officials that are happy to talk to clubs.
A terrific idea. I think that's great. Yep, yep. I think, isn't there a new Michigan, one of the one of the people
Yeah,
there?
section manager in Michigan is new.
That'd be nice to hear from him and what he does and where he came from and all that. So good idea. Excellent. Thanks, Ruben. All right. With that note, I will close the meeting of the Hazel Park Amateur Radio Club January board meeting for 2026. Thank you, everybody, for attending. Have a good evening, 73s, and we'll talk very soon.